Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today I want to talk to you about Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Saw this one a little over a week ago on opening weekend in the theater. It was good. Wasn't great. Overall, though, it was entertaining enough. So let's get into some of the issues with the movie, some of the things we liked, some of the things we didn't like, and maybe help you decide whether or not it's worth spending your hard-earned money on to go see it. I will point out at this point that with it having been out as long as it has been, it's doing okay with audiences. Apparently critics aren't liking it as much as you see on the tomato meter here. Some of the people I do follow on YouTube, people I listen to, they're not liking it as much. I've got my theories as to why that is. There is some aspects of this movie that are kind of, I don't know, popcorn-ish. You know, it's not really brain food, but you can sit back, you can enjoy it. Maybe they were looking for a little bit more out of their superhero movies. I don't go in expecting a lot. I didn't get a lot, so I guess I got what I was expecting. But either way, there are some spoilers in this review. If I wind up talking about something you don't want to know, if you want to go into the movie totally blind and the previews have already ruined maybe more than you want them to, then shut off now, right? Don't watch this video from this point on because we're going to get into it. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's talk. So this movie, Shazam! Fury of the Gods, it's really a Shazam Part 2. It takes place right after the happenings of the first Shazam. Well, you don't really get a real timeline. I guess it's not right after because they talk about how these superheroes have actually started saving the city. They have nicknames and stuff like that. The movie stars Zachary Levi as playing Shazam, at least in the grown-up form. Asher Angel as Billy Baston. Like I said, it's good. It's not great. You do not have to see the first movie to see this one. We took somebody with my family who hadn't seen the first one before. She came with us, and she was able to follow what was going on, the very, very little bit that had to do with and kind of related back to the first movie, kind of just breezed over that, and she was still able to follow the movie and, you know, enjoy the ride, if you will. There are some minor political things in this that you can blow over. Probably the biggest one is one of the children that turn into the superheroes comes out as gay. They kind of touch on it at first, and it's not really a big deal, but then they double down on it a little bit bigger, not much bigger, later on in the movie. I say that's political. For those of you who don't think it is, that's fine. Enjoy the movie. It's totally cool. It's not that big of a deal. I'm not trying to make a big deal out of it. I'm just, for some people that don't like that, insert in their movies because they feel it is a, you know, they're just to prove the point. It does become distracting. Otherwise, it is very brief. You can get past it. It's not a big deal. Enjoy the movie. So those black unicorns you just saw, they are a somewhat major point in the movie near the end. They're black. They're not white. They are unicorns. It's fine. My wife was like, "Why weren't the unicorns white?" It's because they weren't. Because they talk about how unicorns once upon a time were evil, but if you give them ambrosia, they can be on your side. Again, this isn't spoiler free. I'm going to tell you guys now, the ambrosia they give them are Skittles. That actually struck me as a bit much, right? We have what turns out to be a generally major Skittles commercial in the middle of this movie. I don't even like Skittles. Let's have M&Ms, people. But okay, fine, get past that too. I guess my biggest problems with the movie is your superheroes that you just saw on the screen there. They're cool, right? Zachary Levi as Shazam is cool. I like them. I like all of them. They all do a very good job playing their parts as the superheroes. The kids all do a really good job playing their parts as kids, you know, before they become the superheroes. They're generally likable. Mary, who plays one of the heroes, one of the Shazams, Miss Marvel. She does a really good job. I like her a lot. Let's see, Megan Good. She does a really good job. Really like her a lot. I mean, a lot of them, they just do a good job. What I don't like is Helen Mirren as one of the daughters of Atlas, Lucy Liu as one of the daughters of Atlas. Helen Mirren is a good actress. She does so many great parts in so many great movies. The problem is that, and take this for what you want, she's old, right? And so I'm watching a superhero movie and she's playing a god. So it's very easy to understand and believe why she would have superhero powers, right? Because she's a god. It doesn't matter how old she looks. She's a god. She can throw around superhero all she wants because that is what gods can do. The problem is trying to rectify what you're seeing on the screen with that knowledge. So when Helen Mirren picks up Shazam and throws him across the room, that's a bit much to rectify in your own brain. It's the same with Lucy Liu. Then you turn around and you look at it on the other side, and one of the daughters of Atlas is much younger. The problem there is she seems very Nickelodeon when you watch it. And I'm not trying to rip on it. It's Rachel Ziegler. She plays Athena. I don't know if it's the direction. I don't know if it's her acting. I don't know if it's the cartoon aesthetic to the movie. But when you watch her on the film, you just think like you're watching a Nickelodeon show. And that too can be distracting. And I'm not saying she doesn't have the chops to be able to play the part. Maybe she does. Maybe not. Maybe it's her. Maybe, like I said, it's more. But between her being almost too young in her acting and the others being too old, the bad guys don't land for me. When we do get to the final fight scenes at the end where the climax is really ramping up and we see all of the mythical creatures starting to pop up around town, that's better, I guess, for bad guys, but at that point you've already kind of washed it. Everything's very much confined to the city or even to just a part of the city of Philadelphia. There's a little bit of Elseworld type things going on that give you a little bit more of a thing to watch. But this whole Philadelphia, we're trapped in a dome. Again, that's not really entertaining to me. I want more out of my movies. I want them to feel movie caliber, and that just doesn't do it. But hey, look, Shazam is good. I like Shazam. Like I said, the kids do a great job. The heroes do a great job. The heroines do a great job. The gentleman who plays the wizard, he does a great job. He's as good as he was before. When you see the kids go into what is the cave where they have basically their headquarters, they go through their closet to get there. They've kind of decked it out. That's fun. There's a goofy little side character, if you will, that's a pen that does some writing, and his name's Steve, I think is what they call him. That's really fun to watch. In fact, there's this really funny little scene about Steve. You know, they're trying to dictate a letter to him to send to the bad guys, and Steve's writing down everything they say, so when it gets read in what they said as kids. So that's kind of funny, and you'll have to watch for that. All in all, it's a good movie. I recommend going and watching it. It's not a great movie. I'll tell you, if you like Shazam, go to the theater. Spend the money. It's cool. If your Shazam could come or go, maybe rent this one when it comes out on DVD, or stream it when it comes out on your streamers, or however you watch it. There is a clip with Wonder Woman that you've probably seen flash through here. I would have actually saved this one and not spoiled it for you, but it's been in at least enough of the media now that I'm not really ruining anything. Wonder Woman does show up at the end of the movie. She has a part that that's I mean, I'm hesitant in how I want to say it because it's not huge to the development of the story, but it's kind of huge as to how they keep the story from, well, just watch it. It is a part. She needs to be there. She serves a part. But yeah, it's not like the whole movie's hinging on her. I guess depending how you look at it. Do not be fooled. There's a part in the middle of the movie where you think you might see her. And people are like, "Oh, Wonder Woman's in the movie." The thing in the middle is not the thing that everybody's talking about. It's not what everybody's referring to when they say Wonder Woman's in the movie, and she has something to do with the movie, and that comes at the end. There are 2 stingers in this movie that you can wait for. The first stinger is okay. The second one, though, I don't know that I would necessarily wait for if you haven't seen the first one. It relates back to the first one. In fact, this stinger relates to the stinger from the first movie. So if you want to stay and watch it, if it'll give you a little bit more, like maybe there'll be another Shazam movie. They're kind of maybe teasing what they teased before. So if you want to stay for that, if you really have to run out to the restroom because you sat through a whole long movie and don't want to wait for it, you're not missing a ton if you go do that. One other aspect I want to talk about this movie before we go, and it doesn't have anything to do with acting or anything, cinematography, anything like that. This movie does talk a lot about foster care, family. In fact, it's going to say it right here. You don't even see it. It's all about family. Look, there it is, family. It's important, okay? Kids are in foster care. They have their own little family, but they are also wanting to be a part of your family. So if you can help out with the foster system, do that. Adoption is something that's near and dear to my family's heart. Please consider adoption. It's always best for the children if they can go on living with the family that loves them and that wants them. So hey, listen, everybody, thanks for listening to my review. Go see Shazam if you want to see Shazam. It, like I said, it wasn't bad. If you're not huge on Shazam, you think maybe you can wait, that's fine. Wait for it to come out on one of the streamers. DC, I think, is usually on HBO Max, so you'll probably wind up seeing it there if you have HBO Max. Otherwise, next movie I'm probably going to see, I'm going for John Wick 4 in the theaters. I'll probably can get that one done by this weekend, and I'll churn something out like this to let you guys know. I know it'll be a little week late, so those of you that really are huge John Wick fans, you'll probably have already seen it. Those of you that are on the fence, though, you'll have a chance to hear at least my take on whether or not John Wick 4 is worth it. Otherwise, thanks for listening. Subscribe. Like my channel. I am trying to grow it. I am trying to build this. Can only make my videos better as I keep going, and I want to keep having these frank conversations with you all. So thank you and good night.